Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Deb, and today we're going to do a walkthrough of Azure AI Foundry Speech Studio Playground, and we're going to focus specifically on two features, speech translation and pronunciation assessment. So if you've ever wondered how to take spoken words from one language and translate them to another, or how AI can actually score the way you pronounce words, stick around. By the end of this walkthrough, you'll know not just what these tools can do, but also how you can apply them in some real world scenarios. So let's start with the basics. So when you open Speech Playground in Azure AI Foundry, you're going to see a variety of speech related capabilities that you can experiment with, real-time transcription, batch transcription, custom speech, and so on. But today we're going to focus on speech translation, which is converting live or recorded speech from one language to another, and also pronunciation assessment, which is evaluating, how accurately someone pronounces words, which includes things like fluency and rhythm. So these aren't just cool demos. They're features that power things like multilingual meetings, language learning apps, call centers, and also accessibility tools and more. Okay, so let's dive into speech translation first. So the first thing you're going to see is here it says you can upload or record to start speech translation. So there are two ways to do it. You can browse for your files, you can drop and drag files, or you can record right here. But before you do that, you want to get started by configuring, right? So we're going to configure our languages here. So I'm going to translate from English. There we go. And then I'm going to translate to Spanish. And then I also want my translation spoken out in Spanish. So you can actually choose this, and then one of the Azure neural voices will also read out your translation as well. So, okay, let me just record something real quick. Welcome to Azure AI Foundry. We're exploring speech translation today. Great, so you can see that it has already translated it. It's very fast. So you can see the translated text here. If you want to see the original text in English, you can see it here. You can also see the JSON as well if you need that. The other thing that you can do is for the translated text, if you picked Speak Out Translation, you can also have that translation read out to you.
Le damos la bienvenida a Azure AI Foundry. Hoy estamos explorando la traducción de voz.
And if you're interested, you can also play out your original audio as well. Welcome to Azure AI Foundry. We're exploring speech translation today. Okay, now let's check out pronunciation assessment. So there are several things that you can do with pronunciation assessment in Speech Studio, and we're going to go through each of them. The first one over here, the different pronunciation modes, the first one is reading. So you can read a prepared script and then receive your pronunciation scores. So there's several samples here that you can try out, right? But also there's a sample already in here, so we don't have to record one. And I'll just play it for you just real quick so you can hear a little bit of it.
Today was a beautiful day. We had a great time taking a long walk in the morning. The countryside was in full bloom.
So there you go, you get the idea. But the other thing that we have here is you can actually choose your language, right? We're going to use English, United States, but there's advanced options as well. So if you have a custom endpoint, you can actually add it here. I don't have that. But then we have some enhanced add-on settings. So if you turn on prosody assessment, you can include the prosody score, unexpected breaks or missing breaks and monotone errors. So I went ahead and turned that on. So once you've recorded, you can browse for files, you can record, you can drag and drop. But once you have the audio and submitted it, you get the assessment back, and it just shows you a couple of things. So you can see some of the errors over here: mispronunciations, omissions, insertions, unexpected breaks, missing breaks, and monotone. And you can see that it scored some of the, like, this is a mispronunciation. And something that's cool about this is it actually shows where in the phonemes of the word the score was low, right? So it kind of gives you an idea of, where might I be mispronouncing this word, which is helpful. And it gives you a score. So you can see that this countryside word got a 30, whereas this was word 100%. Across the board, right? Great job. And then it gives you a overall, a score breakdown over here. So this was 88%, which is pretty good accuracy score. Accuracy being, how closely the phonemes matched. Fluency is, how closely the speech matches the native speakers of the silent breaks between words. Completeness of the speech, which is calculated by the ratio of pronounced words to the input reference text. And then prosody is, how natural is it, basically? Do you have the right stresses and intonations and speaking speed and rhythm and so on and so forth? So, like I said, you can go in here. There's several samples. You can also try it with your own, put your own stuff in there and check that out. So great. So the second thing that you can do in here as far as pronunciation mode is speaking. So here what you can do is you can talk about a chosen topic and then receive, scores for pronunciation and content. So down here, you can see that you can pick your language again. And then we have a couple of sample topics you can put in here. So like talk about your day, describe your favorite animal, talk about a book you've read recently. And then you can also add your own topic too, as well, if you'd like to do that. There are some rules with that, right? If you record or upload the file, it needs to be, more than 3 sentences, more than 15 seconds, and more than 50 words. So just remember that. And then as far as advanced options, once again, you can have some enhanced add-on settings. So here you can actually add prosody assessment and also content assessment, which is like grammar, vocabulary, and topic relevance scores. So once again, we already have a recording here.
Today was a burst of adventures. I wake up bright and early to help my...
So you get the idea. And then you can see that, this is pretty familiar, right? We looked at this last time. And this is also familiar with the pronunciation score, pretty good, 90%. But then we have something new here, which is the content score. So, you have the vocabulary score, like how proficient are you in lexical usage? Like how effectively do you use words in the appropriate context, to express your ideas? Grammar is basically, are there grammatical errors, are using proper grammar usage with the lexical. And then topic score is like, are you staying on topic? Are you able to express your ideas, on the topic in a understandable way, basically. So so that's the second thing you can do. And then there's a third one called gaming, which this is a tongue twister. So this is kind of fun. So if you go in here, you can see you just pick your language, and then you'll have the same, errors here, and there'll already be a tongue twister right here. But then you can generate a new tongue twister as well. So like maybe I don't want that one. It'll just keep basically generating new tongue twisters for you. So I'm going to try one of these. Let me see. I don't know which one to choose. Let's just try this one. Okay, here we go. Springtime sunshine sparkles splendidly. All right, I think I did a great, I did a great job on that one. So you may be asking, what is pronunciation assessment used for in the real world? So, language learning platforms, they use these type of features to integrate into their, applications to help students improve. Also, corporate training programs, they use them to help ensure their employees can, confidently speak in English or another business language. And then, even call centers that, they use it to train agents and to sound clear and professional. Those are just some examples of some use cases for pronunciation assessment. So in education specifically, it really turns what used to be, subjective teacher feedback into like data-driven, objective scoring. So that's a look at, two powerful features inside Azure AI Foundry Speech Studio Playground: speech translation and pronunciation assessment. So they, both of them show, just how far speech AI has come by bridging, languages in real time and helping people refine their communication skills with measurable feedback. So if you're building, apps for education, global collaboration, or accessibility, these tools are ready to, plug into your project through Azure Speech SDK and APIs. So if you found this deep dive helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what other speech AI features you'd like me to explore next. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.